We are live. Today is May 20th, 2026. This is the community conference of the Senate Institutions and House Institutions and Corrections Committee. And we are here to receive the response from the House.
Okay. You know, a lot of moving pieces and a lot of late information that's come up. Yes. So what I'd like to do this morning is deal with the 3 acre. Because there's some real different dollar amounts here that I want to share with folks in terms of what we've received from BGS. What we're thinking with the 3 acre in the Newport boiler.
Okay.
And then we've got the BGS, some real information as well for door controls, particularly with the St. John's very bid. So I'd like to work through that, and I will explain where we are. I got some documents here. And BGS is here with us. So stormwater permits, this is what is already out. This is coming from BGS. And we wanted to get the estimated costs in the permits when they went out to bid in the permits. And testimony that was received to our committee, once the project has received a permit, there's 5 years to get the project done. So you don't need to do it immediately. And what we've looked at, can we spread our dollars out over a number of capital bills so you don't front load it and pile up the money because BGS can't get construction done in one fiscal year. So you've got that 5-year window once you have the permit. So what BGS has indicated is Middlesex, Northwest Correctional Facility, just Newport, in Pittsburgh, and Northwest is that's St. Albans. I'm sorry. Northwest is St. Albans Correctional Facility, Pittsburgh Training Academy, and the Newport Facility, Correctional Facility. Those they intend to do. So if you add up 153,500, 1.8 million 75, 850, and 1.875. You need 4.753 million.
That's over the right hands.
Yeah.
And so you say again the total, and so that's the total of the first 3 items?
4.
Oh,
We
including the
1.875 for Newport.
okay. So
What's
what's
storm funds? Stormwater funds.
okay?
That's 4.753.
Okay.
What they have. What they have in the bank. This is testimony that we received.
Today or
No,
yesterday?
we received this way back. This document came to us in January when they presented the capital bill. They had at that time 5.8 million. Okay. That includes the 1.1 million in bonds. That's why we've cut them back.
Okay.
Originally.
So that's the balance, that's where you're saying at 5.8? Is at the bottom?
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna refine it further.
Okay.
What BGS just told us.
Okay.
If you look on this sheet right here, what they have in the bank is 4.5 million.
Okay.
If you look on this sheet here, the 4.5 million is from FY24 bond, FY25 bond, and FY26. That's what they're gonna need. At least 4.5, they already have it. We're gonna suggest, we'll find the money somewhere. We're gonna suggest we go to 5 million. Instead, to make them whole so that they have enough money to get them through to do those 4 projects. Which if we do that, because it includes the stormwater ponds, will then help do the boiler. So what we like to do is zero out your 1 million in cash and then cut the 3-acre parcel, our 1.1 in bonds. Cut
So-
that to 500,000. Because that's what they need is 500,000 more to make it 5 million.
Okay,
We want to give them 5 million. So we're saying we can move money around, you zero out your cash. And you decrease our 1.1 in bonds to 500,000. So that takes care of what they need for 3 acres. And that will also take care of Newport for the boiler. And we're okay with what you did for the boiler for Newport. Because those are intertwined. I'm saying you can go forward with that.
Nick, do we have any questions?
You can.
I mean, we'll talk about it.
I don't have any questions about what you just said. Just now curious where you went with the savings.
We haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
This is, what's happening is we're getting new information that's changing
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
with the money. Because we got another piece that's really popped up just yesterday that came to our attention. So it's just got to do this step by step. So at least if we can make the agreement on a 3-acre parcel piece to understand the moving dollars, that we don't need the full amount. And BGS is here to answer questions on this because we've got this from BGS yesterday. And again, I just want to say, our committee was really, when we were working on the 3-acre parcel, we want to make sure we do it. But it's, once they get the permit, you have 5 years to do the project. So that gives us a lot of flexibility in our capital bill over the next few years. And we're very cognizant, we don't want to lock up money and have it just sit there. If BGS can get a project out the door in that fiscal year or the beginning of the following fiscal year. We just want to make our money both spread out as far as we can.
That's logical. And Montpelier's the big unknown, because that's this whole district, right? So
So that's what we're proposing for the 3-acre parcel, and then we've accepted what you put in for the Newport boiler. Because those are so intertwined.
okay.
We want to make sure that the stormwater ponds are covered because you can't do anything with the boiler
Right. Till
until that, and they need the ability to order the boilers and other equipment around that. And by keeping those dollars in for the boiler, allows BGS to at least place in those orders.
Okay, that's helpful. Let me just see if BGS wants to add any information.
Wonderful, for the record, I will, I'll answer any questions. There's nothing I need to add. Of course, I say that and then I want to add, I think what was really important that I believe Senator Harrison, you talked about yesterday, Representative, Emmons just brought up. When we put our budget together, they're estimates. We go, we present, those projects keep evolving and things do change and clarity and other items come in or we get bids. And so with the stormwater, when you look at that sheet, you'll see that we've received some, we have some bids, the projects have moved forward. And I think that's, just beneficial to the whole group to understand it's not stagnant from January. Those projects keep evolving.
Right.
And I appreciate you working with us on it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what we're proposing. The next piece that came to our attention yesterday, to kind of blows stuff out of the water. St. J door controls. If you go to line 25, St. J.
Whoa, 25, not, okay.
No, St. J door controls. So here you go. Yeah. And right one's off the back of that, which so currently for St. J. They have currently about 6.7 million, if you look on this sheet here. They've currently got about 6.7 million. For the door control, in St. J. Bid just came back at 10.2. So within that bid, 8 million of that bid is for the lots. And then the remaining 2+ million is for like stealing the windows or other items they may come in play as they start taking the doors off and they find some things. So the bid came in at 10.2. So if you put the 2.7 million of the door controls to St. J, take out the line item of door controls, put that 2.7 door controls. Do my math in the backwards place. We have 10.2 million. We take away 6.7 because they have 6.7 million in the bank. Leaves us with $3.5 million hole. You put the 2.7 towards that 3.5.
Can we go back just one second? The 6.7. That's not the total of these appropriations, so there must be some other.
That,
It's 1, 2.
but they expended so much. Is this one of them or maybe?
And Scott can also.
Well, this includes all the monies that's been up to this point for this project.
Okay, so there must be some that's not shown in this.
Well, you've got 7 million total. Did it not add, never,
Well, I get, that's the 27 bond, which hasn't happened yet.
but it's in our bill.
Okay, so you're counting that.
Yeah,
Okay,
we didn't
Got it.
touch it.
All right.
Either committee did not touch it. We
Okay.
have 3.6 million in this year. We
Okay,
have 1 million last year and 2.6 this year for 3.6.
okay.
So what they've had appropriated in the past brings them to 7 million and they've expended 289,000. So they have in the bank 6.7.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So we have a $3.5 million hole. And we can put the 2.7 to that, which leaves us with $500,000 hole, which we'll find somewhere.
Sorry, 800, not sure.
Is it 800?
3.5 bucks. Still.
Yeah. I would never do that.
I know, that's true.
So it's an $800,000 hole, which we can find that money somehow. The other piece that plays into this is the 10.2 does not include contingency for works. So that's another 2 million.
It's the 10.2 just for the one
Yes.
side?
Yes.
That is nuts.
Yes.
Did we get just one bid?
Talk to BGS.
Okay.
Would you like me to respond?
Sure.
Well,
Okay,
I just want to we have Flora at 10, so I just.
Okay.
this project isn't, so St. Johnsbury is locks, showers, windows and flooring. And we did a construction management and we just received the guaranteed maximum price for the scope of the work, which is the 10.2. And that just recently came in. And then we have to add our contingency and our clerk of the works on top of it. So the whole project is now 10.2 plus. So it's really estimated at 12.5 if we do a 10% contingency for the project. And that's always been the scope, but I think we have focused on the lots. And to the conference committees, the lots of that project is $8.8 million for that building. And then the 1.3 is for the showers, windows and other replacements. So this is always, all of these facilities, these are electronic locks. They're extremely expensive. I think we've testified to the detail behind it.
So there could be other movements of other dollars. And we're in our budget. We could take half a million from the 3-acre parcel that we freed up towards that. There's other little items there that maybe we could put towards this. We're not there yet. But we wanted to put this on the table pretty close, because this came out yesterday about 4:30.
Yeah, that's good to know.
4:30, so we've got to take care of those door locks. So we'll put the 2.7, we zero out that line of door controls and put the 2.7 in St. J line item. And then maybe put $500,000 of the million for 3 acres. And that's just figure something in, so.
So,
That's-
Rutland's,
Well, Rutland is $500,000 for design.
And we're 30% done.
We're 30% done. When do you anticipate going out to bid and do the work in Rutland?
I don't have that information.
Would that be
We-
during FY27?
That is the plan to wrap it up. And I just want to say to the committee, I think that, we're gonna see Rutland is almost an identical building to St. Johnsbury, just to give you a preview. And I'll confirm that for the committee, when you break.
Would you still have as much windows, showers, and that down in Rutland?
I will confirm that. I
Which
don't,
building is older, St. J or Rutland? Rutland used to be the girls' school. So that was,
I think Rutland is older and has gone through many adjustments over the years, as I recall. I think Rutland is older.
an older building.
St. John's where you did in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, Chittenden we did in the late 60s.
Yeah.
And then Marble Valley was the building that was used for the girls, like the gents for the boys. And then I don't remember when we took over that building for DOC. It must have been around the 70s. That's when we all transitioned from the Windsor facility being the one facility to Virginia's. That was in the late 60s. I know you have to be on the, whoops.
Yeah, could I just ask a clarifier? I think, when I got all the numbers you put out there, but the total project, St. J projects, from what I think you indicated is about 12.2 million.
And that's if we include a 10% contingents. That's with a 10% contingent.
So that's gonna take a little further conversations. Because I've got little thoughts.
Which would then also be probably from, again, the description similar to what we're gonna see for Rutland.
Yeah, depending on those extra pieces, if it's windows or showers, because that's about 2.5 million.
Yeah. So you're still talking 10 million.
10 million. Not that we don't want to do it, but. Two other things. You said you might have some language for 110 State Street or anything? Is there any?
I don't think
thoughts?
so.
Do you have any thoughts on that after our conversations from yesterday?
No, I mean, it gets more and more complicated the more I learn. That's what's happening.
So is your position still that you want to repeal the language to sell?
Yes. I mean, we aren't finished, obviously.
So I've got some questions on language, but I know we've got Forest and Parks here, and can we go to the language for the HUDs
Sure.
real quick? And that's on page 14 or whatever, however you're using your. So we want to allow them to enter into a lease. And you want to negotiate with us. Can you give us the reasoning behind the difference there?
The difference is that we don't have specifications or even guidelines on the lease terms. What I was planning to do is that these two committees together would come up with parameters.
So if you look at our language, there are parameters to the lease. It's a 20-year option to renew.
Right, so it's essentially 40 years. I think it's 2 10s.
And we do that quite often. Yeah.
I understand.
It's not good.
But it doesn't have the terms of the compensations of the state.
So it's the fees.
That's one of the items, yes.
And then the other things, conditions on the use of the structure. Vermont Huts would secure insurance. And they have to abide by bulletin 3.5, which is what the state does for negotiating leases. Provisions for termination of the lease. This is all language that we put in.
Right.
So
Right. So you identified the items that we need to discuss, but they don't have except for the term, they don't have specifics in them or even just a range.
is it basically just for the, except for other items? We've just.
Well, let's talk more when we have more time about it. I'm happy to talk more. And this, you probably saw the grant agreement that they have with the federal government. This would be a good thing for you to look at because,
Agreement with the federal.
the Vermont Huts Association, this is where they're getting the funding.
Oh, all right.
And this is for more than just the, that site. These are for other sites also.
So is that problematic that they're getting funding?
No, it's good that they're getting some, that they're getting funding. But this funding is also, so this has parameters for the Huts Association, which is helpful. So we wouldn't want to put anything in conflict with this into our lease.
So did you work with Ledge Council on this to make sure there wasn't conflict? Because we worked with Michael O'Grady.
No, we haven't, we didn't have time. We ran out of time to work on this. That's why the language is the way it is in our bill, because the intent is to work with you folks.
Kate, do you have them?
Oh, yeah, we can
We can get it, and then maybe we can work with Michael, because we worked with Michael O'Grady with Vermont Huts and with Forest and Parks to make sure everything was.
Okay, so we can get with Mike.
So I think that would be something that our companies would have to look into.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're on the floor at 10.
yes.
We're on the floor at 10. We're back on the floor at 1.
We are here this afternoon and we're not all here tomorrow afternoon. So this afternoon would be helpful.
Yeah. What's your schedule for the floor this afternoon?
We technically don't have this. I mean, we don't have the floor.
We'll probably finish the floor at 1, like we did today.
You what?
We'll start at 10 and probably finish at 1. My guess.
Okay. Because we go back on the floor. My issue was we have a bill up. I think it's gonna come up in the afternoon and I have to be on the floor for the report. It's about the forensic facilities, S-193. I'm just not sure when that's gonna come up. So if I can get some assurances in terms of when we might be able to take that bill up today on the floor, then that will help.
Okay. Okay. So tell Tate and Tate will tell us. And
So are you folks okay with the 3 acre in St. J, or are you gonna do some more things?
well, we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So let me get back to you to see what we're doing on S-193.
Okay.
That's the big ones.